I'm Sid.
We're faking Sanity, and we're making big changes.
Whee! Okay, so not so much with the podcast or anything, but with our store.
Yeah, so exciting.
It is.
We've when we first started this shop, we had this pie in the sky dream that we had always thought about, and this was so close. We decided to do this, but now we're.
But yeah, so
changing things to match closer.
So right now we serve lunches until 2 o'clock, and I hate waitressing, and she hates cooking.
I don't.
No,
I'm just sick of it.
We're just really sick of it. It's been 8 years, and we're kind of burnt out of that stuff. And it was never what we wanted to do. We just did it because
it came with the business.
It came with the business, and we wanted to be able to, you know, pay our staff the first year.
Yeah. Well, and like the first year when I had just given my notice like 6 months before we started this at my old job, and I'd been there for like 12 years. And the one thing I actually said to Cindy was, I know I can get a job in a restaurant, but I just need a break from restaurants right now. And then we bought a business with a restaurant attached.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to be going back to what we had intended.
We are going to stop serving lunches. We'll still have our snacks and coffees and everything, but we are sextupling our yarns section. That's six times.
Said sex.
That's...
Sorry, couldn't resist.
That's yeah, about 6 times as much yarn as we have right now.
Yeah.
So we've been ordering yarn. It's so fun.
So exciting. We ordered a bunch of like sample yarns to test them out, and now we've started ordering actual stock for the store.
Yes.
And then shelves,
and then the change will come. We're going to close for at least a few days to do some renos to make our yarn section. But we have to wait and see kind of how long
when the
some
bulk
of these
it arrives.
Yeah, so once we have the bulk of the yarn, we will do that.
It's so exciting.
So
we're so thrilled.
excited.
And we're getting so many of the yarns that we love, we're getting more of, but also some brand new ones with way more variety than we've had before. So we're gonna get a couple of non-wool yarns, which we've never really had. So we're gonna get some 100% silk, and we're gonna get some cotton, and
Yes, and some more, what's it called? Double C, which is silk and sea cell. Oh yeah!
which is this.
Which is that?
I hadn't even thought of that
Do you
when
want
I
to just
grabbed
talk
it
about
this
that
morning.
right now?
But it's in the wrong order on the
Fine,
list.
never
Okay.
mind. We'll
But
come
it's-
back.
No,
Let's
it's
go
fine.
back to it.
It's fine.
Oh, but now you're not covering your coffee stain.
Oh. 2 seconds before we hit record, I took
spilled
a
her
sip of
coffee.
coffee and
Yeah.
spilled it down my shirt.
That's
Okay,
right.
This is double C in the ebony colorway, and it's this lovely, oh, you're not going to get the variations.
Drapey. No.
It's got black and brown, and it's got like little hints of copper in it, and the light just isn't going to cooperate here in the winter in Dawson. But
Copper?
yeah, there are little tiny bits of dark copper.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Anyway,
very
it's fabulous. The drape is amazing.
It's Fleece Artist.
It's Fleece Artist.
Yeah.
It's
We
double
love
C.
Fleece Artist.
And this was going to be, I felt guilty this week because I have no FOs. So
brought
this
a
was
historical.
my historical almost FO.
Yeah.
It's even blocked, but there are 2 ends to weave in.
Right there.
Since 2014, since June of 2014, this is all that's left to finish it, those 2 ends.
It's lovely.
So I'll have it done by next week, but this is the Geology Shawl by verybusymonkey, and I loved it. It was such a fun knit. It's got like each section is a completely different stitch pattern.
Yeah, and by the time you're getting sick of one stitch pattern, you switch to another one.
Yeah, and I
they all
was
love
worried.
them.
I really loved it. I was worried about doing lace in a dark color, but I was like, but I prefer that to a very busy colorway.
Yeah.
So I love it, and it feels amazing.
It is lovely. It feels like silk.
Yeah, yeah, a little,
but
like
a little
I don't want to say toothy. A little
Toothy?
like toothy wools.
What does toothy mean?
Grabby, toothy, stiffy.
You said stiffy. Sorry. We're not 12. No. We're in our 40s.
It's a little less silky, like
Sure.
texture-wise. It feels like it's a wool silk blend,
Okay.
for example.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's lovely. So that's
It's
one
beautiful.
of the, we're
I
getting
love it.
some of that.
Yeah.
And we have a new line of our yarn.
Yes, it's the second one. We've had the fixation for a while now.
This isn't out yet, obviously, but we are just starting to get some of our stuff in. So it's a DK weight.
This is a first look. We haven't even named these colorways yet.
It's called, we're going to call the base Impulse. And so we've got some that are speckles. This one is like just barely speckled. Wow. The light is...
It's blowing out.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, it's kind of a creamy white.
Let me try on this side.
It's fine. With just little yellow speckles.
Nope, can't get it at all.
It's fine. It's funny because I didn't actually like it in the skein, but as soon as I made it into a ball, I quite like it.
Yeah.
I am working on a design with this one.
Yeah. And it's really nice. Since you couldn't see it, it's got a little bit of kind of tealy blue speckles, some bright yellow, and the tiniest
gray.
bit of dark gray.
Yeah.
It's going to be fabulous knit up.
It's really nice. So I'm working on a design out of it. As you can tell, I have knit with it and then ripped it out. And I'm
design on the needles is knit.
Rip out, knit, rip out.
Rip out, retake.
So it goes
retwink. No, what's the name word I was looking for?
Recondition?
Nope. Rethink. Rethink.
Better than retwink. So we've got...
English isn't my first language.
You say that every single podcast.
It's not my fault.
So we've got some in speckles. Wow, that one really blows out.
Yeah,
okay.
You really just can't see it.
Some variegated.
I love that one.
To some amazing semi-solids.
This one is so rich.
It smells.
It's like deep.
Smells good.
Okay, you know those curtains in the 70s, like the big velvet curtains on stages and churches and stuff?
Yeah, we had some in our house when I was a kid.
Is so the heavy, rich velvet curtains in my church at home when
Oh,
I was
okay.
a kid. It's beautiful.
And
so rich.
So many of the colors are amazing.
Yeah.
So
like the fixation, it's super squishy.
Squishy.
Yeah. And this is a merino nylon base.
Yeah, it's 80-20.
Yeah, which I really like because if you want heavier socks, like for slipper socks or house socks, they've got nylon in to give them strength, but it's
really nice.
super squishy. So
she's wrecking my ball.
It's lovely.
She's squeezing my ball, guys. Okay.
It's so squishy. It's lovely
It is.
for like cowls and scarves and shawls and stuff
So
too.
my plan is a cabled cowl. So we'll see. Okay, so last podcast I had said that I was going to start doing the brown bag mystery thing. Well, that got derailed because...
Design bug.
Because, I got the design bug, and I'm also knitting up some shop sample stuff.
Yes.
So as we get some stuff... Do you want to talk about our shop samples?
Sure.
Okay, so...
We have a list today. We're not going to follow it very closely, so there
obviously.
might be a lot of, let's jump back.
Yeah, I haven't woven in the ends yet, but it won't take long. I even blocked this one already.
You did a tassel. It's a really bad tassel.
See, what I do is I tend to estimate way too much for my long tail cast on, so I always have a little tassel. So this is the Bankhead by Susie Gourlay. I knit it really big because I was thinking it could be a men's hat.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's an excellent look.
I was watching Return of the King, and that just made me think of the mouth of Sauron. He comes out of the black gates, and all you see is
the giant sideways mouth.
Yeah.
Upside down mouth? Sideways
I don't
mouth.
know, but
It looked weird because they did it digitally.
yeah. It's the Bankhead. It is a fabulous pattern.
Yeah.
I really like it.
Really classic looking.
Yeah, and it's just got the little ridges of pearl.
Yeah.
Seed actually.
Seed. But yeah.
Yarn. And the yarn is Briggs and Little Heritage, which is one of the ones we're bringing in.
Yeah.
I got this so I could knit it and try it and see if it was one we wanted to get. And as soon as I did, I said yes.
It feels amazing.
It is really rustic. It is not a soft wool.
But it's not scratchy. Like, I could totally wear that. Not as a cowl.
I couldn't wear it on my neck.
I could totally wear mittens or a hat or anything like that. Or a scarf, because it's, like, not right against your skin.
See, I always pull, because I don't wear a scarf or something around my neck unless I'm cold.
Yeah.
And I want it right up there. So, oh, God. Sorry. Giving myself quadruple chins. I have this bad thing because I can see myself, and I'm just like...
Don't look at yourself. Look at the camera.
I can't look at the camera.
I
Sorry,
know.
I'm no good at that. Anyway, so Briggs and Little Heritage. It's a really, really affordable worsted weight.
And it softened up so much in the wash.
Okay.
Like, the little swatch sample.
I did little
like, it actually
samples.
drapes a little. This would be fabulous for color work. like amazing.
Yeah, I thought you said
color work.
a lot of people don't use worsted for color work.
No,
Some people do.
there's a lot of finer color work, but like it just makes a really nice cohesive fabric.
Yeah. Yeah, and oh, lovely. So yeah, I did a little swatch that I already washed. So I washed both of these in eucalan for like an hour. I just let it soak, which is lovely. But I mean, soak or a baby shampoo would totally do the same thing. But yeah, so it's a really rustic wool. It even has little pieces of hay still in it, which I didn't mind picking out at all, but I know some people would. So
Yeah.
But yeah, we have a lot of people who've asked us for some rustic wool, and all we've had is Janet's wool, Laughing Lamb Woolery, which is some local wool, and some Cascade Echo.
Yeah.
So
This will be nice because we'll get it in a really wide variety of
Yeah,
colors.
we've got,
So
like,
if people do want more choices,
36
we'll have a lot
colors
of different
coming.
colors. So
yeah, and I'm just doing up
I'm
little.
totally getting some of this.
I'm doing up little swatches, so people can see kind of before and after washing.
I can totally wear this.
And this is another one that I am planning a design out of.
I haven't tried it on yet. Excuse me.
It's really long.
Oh my
It'll
goodness.
be huge on you.
I have a tiny head.
Yeah, yeah. It's big on me, and I have a pretty big head.
It's.
You look.
I could
I could add another head.
It could be a pom pom on the top.
Yeah, and the funny thing is that's actually shorter than she called for. I was doing the adult extra large, and this is actually shorter than she called for. So I don't know. Some people must have some massive heads.
Well, and I always shorten hats because they're always too long for me.
Anyway, but
Sorry, distraction. I like it though.
Yes, I am going to do. I think my plan for this design is a hat and mitt pattern that you get a skein of each color, and you'll get both out of, and it's going to have some color work, but that is slip stitch color work. So you never have to work with two yarns at the same time, because I am not a color work person. I can't get two yarns going at the same time.
I think the problem is this.
Okay, so how she does it, it's great, because she can do English knitting and continental. Wow, okay, anyway. And so she puts a color in each hand.
This is my main color, and this is my contrast.
And I cannot do English knitting. I'm like
she makes that sound.
I do every time. So I was trying to teach, because we used to teach beginner knitting. We haven't lately, though we will be again, hopefully. But yeah, I was trying to teach someone, and they were like, "Well, you're holding your yarn in the wrong hand." And I'm like, "Oh right, you do English." And so I'm like, I've got the needles, and I'm like.
We ended up switching places. She took over my student, and I took over hers.
Yeah, I just can't. I learned continental first. Well, actually, the only reason I learned continental is because I crocheted first, and holding my yarn in my left hand felt natural. So it's funny because the lady who taught our beginner knitting class didn't know how to knit continental.
But Amy was there, and she came over.
So yeah. Okay. The one other thing, since we're talking about hats, is. Sorry. that's the bad thing about ends. Okay, is, who asked? Just a Kniddle asked me what I used for blocking hats.
That's pretty fun.
It is literally, stop it! We're really excited about doing this. Plus, it's sunshiny out, and we only got like 2 inches of snow rather than the foot they were calling for.
Except there's a big burning ball of fire in the sky and no clouds. I love the sunshine.
Love it. It's beautiful out today.
I love gray,
as you can probably
cloudy,
see
overcast.
In the reflection of the sunlight on my glasses. But anyway, Justin Hill asked me, because I had talked about my hat blocking jar before.
This is the hat blocking jar.
This is the hat blocking jar.
Ta-da!
So it's just a big...
it's about
3 liter.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's about the size of a 2-kilo peanut butter jar, but taller.
Yeah.
If that helps give dimensions.
And I just got it at a dollar store.
Yep.
And so I use it upside down.
Wet the hat thoroughly.
Yep.
Throw it on. And it's a soft enough corner that doesn't leave a ridge here. Like, this was blocked on here last night, right?
Yeah.
And you can't see a ridge there at all.
Oh, and that dried so fast.
Oh, yeah, because it's woolen spun. Mm-hmm. Woolen spun has so much air in it. Like, the fiber dries really, really fast.
But yeah, so I just...
It dries faster if you make the sound.
And I kind of make sure that it hangs. And I like having the really long one, because then even for my really slouchy hats... and sometimes if they're really slouchy, they're like longer than this. And so I actually put this on top of a...
candy jar.
Yeah,
it's on top of
the
our
cookie
candy
jar. It's the cookie jar.
It's a cookie jar filled with candy.
It was my grandma's cookie jar, which is actually like a pickle jar recycled. Because, you know, that's... Whoa, anyway, yeah, that's how I block my stuff. I find it so handy.
And one of the other things when we have a couple blocking of hats, if you have a sofa with rounded arms, we have been known to do this, fold it like in half and lay this over a towel on the arm of your sofa. You'll get a beautiful block as long as it's not one you needed stretched.
Yeah.
And you don't get creases that way either because it's a nice soft shape.
I don't like to do it just flat.
Yeah. Because then you get...
that's not, that's not what a hat, I don't know.
Yeah. Because all this top part doesn't block out right.
Yeah. But yeah. I really like that.
I am excited about this one.
I'm really excited about this yarn.
Yeah.
Which is funny because it's kind of our cheap, rustic
but
one that we're bringing in.
Did you see close up like how beautiful this heather is?
Yeah. And I said, the pattern and, the color of this is blue heather. So.
Heather.
Yeah. And they have lots of great colors. I can't wait.
We get blue jack too?
She's weird. Have I mentioned this?
Perfectly normal.
Yeah. So I'm designing some hat and mitts, hopefully, with some mosaic colorwork.
I've actually had the
which is really easy.
Design bug lately too.
Yeah.
Part of why I didn't have an FO this week was because I was pretty monogamous on one knit and I hurt my back, so I couldn't knit as much. And I started a shop sample and I was playing around with some designs. So I've got a couple of hats and those mittens that I had been...
Did you want to talk about your shop sample?
Sure.
So that's another yarn that we're bringing in.
Yeah. So this is, what is it? It is the Pretty in Pink cowl. And it's just got a couple of lacy sections with a stockinette stitch that it starts from the bottom, you decrease down, and once I get to no stitches here...
You
start at the bottom, decrease... Sorry, down to a point is what I meant. And once I get to the point, I've got like one more left, and then it'll just go straight.
Okay.
So it kind of flares at the bottom so that it sits nicer across your shoulders. It's a bit wider. And this is the Cascade Ultra Pima cotton in the... they have such amazing color names. This is color 3726.
No, it's periwinkle.
Oh, well, on their website, all it said, I just checked this morning and all it said was 3726 on the retail side. I hadn't logged in.
Yeah, at least...
but yeah, it's a beautiful...
And this is one of the colors we're getting.
Yeah, it's a beautiful periwinkle blue. It's showing a little darker on screen and a little more vibrant, but it really is like just a nice periwinkle.
Yeah.
And it's really nice. It's 100% Pima cotton, so it's got that sheen that a Pima cotton has. And yeah. I think
it's a nice affordable one. And then, we've got a bunch more fleece artists.
Let me just...
finish talking
about
it.
So the Pretty in Pink cowl, because I'm a good podcaster. I write down names of designers.
I did too, look! Yeah, you can read it. Really,
so it's the Pretty in Pink cowl by Gretchen Tracy. The pattern's available on her website, but you can get to it through Ravelry. So, yeah.
Yeah.
And the Pima cotton you'll be able to get here shortly.
Shortly, sometime. Yeah, and we've got, I don't know. Manos de Uruguay. We've got some of their Alegria coming. We're going to have some fiber, not a lot, but a little, and see if, there's a lot of spinners in town, or maybe not in town, but in the area, but a lot of them really wanted, they go and buy fleeces from cheap farmers.
We'll have some, a few hand-dyed top braids. I ordered some 100% silk and merino silk blends, and then I'll also have some undyed, just kind of breed studies, so specific breed fibers that are natural undyed.
And we have lots of things coming. We can't remember them all. We've been spending.
And we can't say all of them.
We can't say them all
because there's got to be fun at the end to go
ooh. Speaking of ooh,
yes.
We got in the National Parks collection again.
Yes.
Finally,
woo!
Yay! Do you want me to grab some?
If you can twist over to grab my...
She hurt her back. And...
My back is better, but twisting is still bad, so reaching sideways isn't a good idea.
Oh, here, I'll grab it in.
So we got this in the first time, and I had a colorway that I wanted, and I set it aside, and then I was like, it's sold out already, and somebody wanted more. So I was like, take mine, we're getting more. And then the second batch came in and
Same
it
thing.
sold out right away. So I said,
Yeah.
take mine, we'll get more. And the
Now
third
she's
one
like,
came in.
this is the last one we can get. I'm taking it.
So this is the Northwest Territory Aluvic colorway.
On the Chinook base.
On the Chinook base, which is the Aran weight. And okay, look at this slate. It's just amazing. I love a good slate kind of tonal blue-gray, and that is amazing.
Yeah. So we got a bunch of that. We're already out of the BC.
I'm so excited. Yeah,
It's ridiculous.
completely sold out.
And if you watch this and you're like, oh, I need some of that, just give us a call or email us or whatever.
Yeah, it's not up on Ravelry, and
Because we haven't had a chance, and it's selling from here faster than...
Yeah. We don't have time to do the photography and get it up on Etsy before it sells. So if you're interested in one, just leave us a message. We can put up a custom listing for you.
Yeah.
The colors are all the same as they were before.
Yeah.
Although this batch, the Newfoundland is lighter. It's
they're all
it's
a
still
little
in
different.
the olivey greens,
Yeah.
but it's a lighter olivey green rather than
Yeah.
mostly the dark. And
You were wrong. It wasn't mostly the dark. She's just remembering it wrong.
there's less dark than there was before.
It's a little different. Oh, and this is... So we got all the colors in of the Chinook. But yeah, we're already out of
And
BC.
we got like 6 extra skeins of all the popular colorways, and we're already out of BC.
And then we just got in like 4 colors, and then we're already out of the BC of the Merino Slim. So we just have we have some up on Etsy already. We have 1 or 2 skeins. And then we got in the Banff, the Yukon, Banff, Alberta, something Yukon, Kluane, Yukon, and...
Nope, not twisting that way.
Possibly the Manitoba. I don't remember. Don't look. Oh no, the Newfoundland, of course. The Newfoundland has been really
Newfoundland.
popular for us.
Yeah. We have a lot of people from Newfoundland in the area, so it's been a
lot of
popular
people.
gift.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway,
It's exciting. And yeah, message us if you
so
want some.
pretty.
It's not going to hit Etsy before it sells out, so
No.
just message us if you want some.
yeah.
And if you're doing that, the price on the Chinook is $27 Canadian.
And price on Merino Slim is $24 Canadian, plus shipping. Yeah. Sorry, we don't normally use this as a.
No, it's
sell our
just-
stuff. We usually just go, ooh, it's pretty, but I mean, really, like this has been hard to get. So if there's something you want,
Okay, this came in on Thursday.
No, it came
on
on
Friday.
Friday when
we
I
were
was sick.
closed on Friday. Like she
'Cause
got
we were all
it just
sick.
as she was leaving, putting
Yeah.
up a sign saying we're closed. So we were open one day and sold out of
BC.
9 skeins of BC.
Well, there are 3 on hold.
Okay, but they've
Yeah.
already been spoken for.
Yeah.
Like it's going that fast. so.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just going to go through my checklist and check off things
off
to
the
see what
things.
we've talked about.
Okay. I talked about my FO.
Yeah.
So we can talk about our whips.
Okay. Whips sound good.
Whips.
Do you want to do it together?
Yeah. Okay, ready?
Go.
Katie Shawl!
Katie Shawl! Wow, we both chose some pretty bright colors, which is unusual for us.
Ah. Okay, do you want to talk about yours first or mine?
Go with yours.
Okay, so I got this much done so far.
It looks great.
So the gray is Fearless Fibres Merino Tencel. Excuse me. She used to be on, I'm burping McDonald's fries. I'm sure you needed to know that.
We went to McDonald's today.
Yeah. Fearless Fibres Merino Tencel in Illusion. And she used to be on Etsy, but I couldn't seem to find her, so I think she's probably not there anymore.
Or moved to her own website.
Possibly. I didn't actually just Google. And then the colors, I actually have 6 colors. And it goes from a blue through purple through like a wine all the way to brick. And it is Nikkislipp Gradient Yarn Set, which is a 70-30 merino silk fingering. And this colorway is called, it's
The set.
yeah, it is called Gazing at the Heavens. So it actually comes in like little mini skeins, and I have them all rolled up. And it is great because so what she does is she starts with one color in her dye pot, and then she goes to the next color. So they're not solid. They're definitely semi-solid tonally, and you get little bits of the next color in each. So
they blend together really
I'm
nicely.
missing a
If
couple
you were
colors in
knitting
there.
them like in garter together.
Which you can see up here.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
So,
the transition's so smooth.
It's so beautiful. And I love the little eyeball stitch. It's really fun to make.
Yeah.
And I just love knitting garter.
Yeah. And I'm glad I remembered the Merino Tencel.
It's so
It
nice.
drapes,
Yeah.
like the twist in it's very different, but the drape is very similar to Merino silk.
Well, and that's why I was gonna get tree wool from Fleece Artist in actually a lighter gray, because it's a Merino Tencel.
Yeah.
Which is I think about even the same. I think the same.
The twist's a bit different, so it's not the same base, but it's very similar.
But yeah, and they go so well together, and they drape so nicely.
Yeah.
So so I have 6 colors. So this section actually went a little longer.
Yeah.
But I have lots of gray left, and I'm not sure. I don't have tons of each color left. So I think I'm going to do the next section that's just the gray, really longer, and then just do the eyeballs again. And I don't know if I'll have enough for the little micro stripes at the end, but that's all right. I tend to hack patterns anyway.
Yeah.
So that's mine. I love it. Good job, guys.
Yes.
I love the I-cord edging
Yeah.
that you get along the way.
Not on that side.
Not on that side. This side. The I-cord edging. Oh, Geology Shawl by Cozy Up Designs. I just didn't say it. I mean, anyone who watches us probably knows.
They've heard it,
But-
and they've seen it on their podcast.
And we talked
for
about it
the most
last
part.
time. But yeah, I am loving it. Good job.
Yeah.
Whee!
It looks so nice.
It's gonna be so cozy. Okay, talk about yours now.
Okay, when you saw this last, it was just a couple of skeins that I was debating between going, should I knit with this one or this one?
Not those two, obviously.
But, and it's grown up. So this was what I was doing this week. So the black is just Knit Pick Stroll, because I didn't have any black at the store in the fixation yarn.
Oh, but it's a good.
But
it's a good.
I really liked the idea of the black against the pink and orange. So the pink and orange is our fixation yarn in Oranges Are Not the Only Fruit colorway. And the yardage on that is a fair bit shorter than what the pattern calls for. So here in section 2, I stopped at 3 sections of the eyeball stitch instead of 5. So I just knit the last 2 in black. So it'll lengthen the black section here.
Oh, did you actually? No, you didn't do the eyeballs up here. No, you just.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
So the last 2 are just 2 plain garter repeats in black. So then, what is it, like
You go a lot.
a lot of your main color will be this much longer than it would have been, but the stitch counts will be perfect, and then I won't run out of yarn. So I'm very excited.
It's looking so cool.
Yeah, I think I won't have enough to do like the whole section of garter stripe, or the little micro stripes at the end.
Well, and because you're using one color,
because
it's not like
only
they'd be
2 colors,
Yeah.
I think I'm just going to go like the
I would just
orange,
alternate
black,
the two.
black, orange, black,
Yeah.
or maybe make the black a little bit wider, but do the garter stripe in the orange a couple times just to make the edge a little more defined.
Yeah.
And I definitely have enough to do probably 2 or 3 of them, just not all of it. So, because I'll be cutting it pretty close.
Yeah.
But I'm very excited, and I love how it's knitting up. Like, look at that color.
It is such a bright color, and I really like it with the black, because I
Blowing up
think
that
maybe
way, but,
all on its own might be
Overpowering
a little too bright. See, when you put the black up to me, I look even whiter than usual.
No, you look the same as usual. You're just
I'm
pale.
white. Yeah.
Ghostly, transparent.
Yeah.
I love it.
I'm really excited.
I absolutely love it. I've been watching the not just the Geology Shawl thread, but they started the Knit in the Family knit along, which is any of the named sister shawls can go into it. So this'll definitely go into it. I don't know if I'll knit all of them, but yeah, I'm definitely going to do this one, and I'd love to knit this again.
Yeah.
In another colorway combination. Yeah.
Oh, that's some of the stuff we have coming. We have some sets of coordinating colors coming too from a couple places.
Yes.
So
beautiful, like gradient sets and coordinating color sets, and we're not going to tell you where.
No,
because they'll be part of the surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not Sweet Georgia Party of 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my whip.
That's my only whip too. Well, unless you, I'm doing another little sample here.
You'll have a little mustache.
Yeah. I mean, I have other whips, but I haven't worked on them at all.
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
It's been like, well, the hat I did the whole hat in like, I don't know, 3 days.
Well, and we both like
and the
plowed
Katie
through
shawl.
on
It's
the
been so
shawl.
much fun.
Yeah, it's really addictive.
Because it's nice. You've got garter, but then when you're starting to get a little bored, it's like, oh, color change. And then it's like, eyeball stitch.
I think this section will be the most tedious, but I've been in the mood for plain knits lately. I don't know why.
I don't know. I like really plain knits, and I've been in the mood for them, but I've also been in the mood for like, I want to do the like most complex cable.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
We'll see.
Um.
Well, I do have one more whip. It's just spinning.
Yeah. It's
So a few of you have asked about spinning and showing it on the podcast.
which at some point
Which at one point we'll do a
record her
video of
doing
it,
on
but I
her
thought I'd show.
electric.
I don't spin much on spindles, but I have a little supported spindle. It's a Spindlin by Spindlin was her shop. She's also Katie May on Etsy. And she sold, when I bought this, she sold the like off the shelf ones under her Spindlin website and her custom ones on Etsy as Katie May. And I wanted a customized one. So basically it's a supported quill with a hook on top. So if you spin on a wheel and you have a quill attachment, it's basically just the quill
What's a
set
quill?
vertically. It's a stick like this that goes...
Never mind. That was a silly question. I just think I look at it and go, oh, it's a bottom.
Yeah.
But
Bottom whirl spindle.
yeah.
Yeah. But I really love this. I didn't love drop spindling. If I hadn't tried a wheel, I would have probably
didn't
not
like
stuck
drop
with
spindle
spindling at all.
But I didn't like the wheel either.
But the instant I tried the wheel, I loved it. And I gave up on spindles. I had the one that I got. And eventually I bought another really light one for spinning lace weight. And that I loved. So that's when I decided to try one of these. And so it's a brass...
thing.
I was going to say stick. A brass spindle shaft. And it sits...
Shaft works, yeah.
It sits in this little brass tube in a wooden base. And because of that, it stands up straight. So if you're not spindling a lot and you have to do park and draft, it's nice because it won't fall over on you. It does spin a little more slowly than most spindles and a little less long than most spindles, but you have that flexibility of it's not going to fall over. So it's kind of a nice one for like really downy fibers. So like right now I'm spinning 100% baby camel. So you can see it's just fluff, like it's just a cloud. There's no top, there's no roving, there's no alignment here. It's just fluff. And basically, and it's detachable. So it's very portable. I had it customized so that this was less ornate and slimmer so that when I'm spinning at home I can put it between my legs or I can set it on a table with the flat base. So it's just a little more versatile. And so basically I give it a spin and I pull out and I give it a spin.
Yeah,
and
you
pull
can't
out.
see the pull out part.
This is a odd angle for recording, but
Anyway, we'll record it at some point.
yeah, it doesn't work because the hook's there. But and then I'm just going to give this the twist it should have had. And then you just wind it on. And you can stop if the phone rings, it's not going to be a problem. And then you just start over, hook it on the top, and draft out some more. I had tried spinning the Camel on, I'm just going to move this out of frame now because it's distracting. I tried spinning this Camel on a drop spindle, which was disastrous. And I tried on my wheel, which was not disastrous, but not great. Because the Camel's so fine and so short stapled, I was constantly breaking it apart and letting it drift apart, and it just wasn't a pleasant spin. But on here, because there's no weight pulling on the thread while you're making it, you can draft it as fine as you want and just take the time to add more twists. So I really like it. Highly recommended. And she was great to deal with. She still has her shop. And like she customized it for me, asked me what I wanted, how I wanted it, which wood I wanted to make it in at the same time. and didn't charge a penny extra for the customization. It was really cool.
That is very cool.
Yeah. So if you're spinning, you know, bison or camel or any sort of down like that, I highly recommend a supported spindle.
But it would work fine for other stuff too.
Yeah, it's just easier on a supported spindle because the weight of the spindle isn't pulling
Yeah, like dropped spindles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like. So
Cool.
that's my spinning. I'm still working on my Haunui, but I couldn't sit at the wheel for very long, so it's not done yet. So next week.
And her sweater, she pulled out what she had done.
I did. Okay, you know when you make one of these stupid mistakes and go, what in the world was I thinking? I made one of those. The very first line is provisionally cast on X many stitches.
Yeah.
I missed the provisionally. So I cast on. By the time I realized it, it's for the folded over channel that your thread goes in for the hoodie drawstring. Thread for the drawstring.
Yeah, I was like, the thingy that it ties you on the ends.
Yeah. But so I thought, well, I can just graft it together, like pick up the stitch and knit it in with a new one. But it gave a little bit of a ridge there, and that's the one place I'm really sensitive, is right on my collarbone, which is exactly where that would sit. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to start over, which turned out to be a good thing because I realized that the measurements I took on the gauge and did the math for was the wrong gauge swatch. It was the one on the wrong needle. So
excellent.
So I re-knit a gauge swatch. I just have to wash it now and check which size.
And I was going to start on my sweater, but I got distracted by the Katie shawl and the new yarn. So
yeah, we've been spending a lot of time either working on shop samples or planning orders or, you know, finding places for slat wall and pegboard and
and shelves
kind of fixtures to make it work. So
yes,
it's been exciting.
So excited.
And hopefully we won't kill each other during the renos.
Oh, it shouldn't be too bad.
No.
We almost did the first renos.
It was longer and less organized. Like, because it was in such a rush.
Well, and there was so much to do.
There's much less. It'll be...
And we kind of have it
easy.
planned.
Yeah.
Then we really had no idea what we were going to end up with.
Yeah.
But I think that's all the yarn stuff.
Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
We talked for 37 minutes about yarn and shop stuff.
Yay. We're excited. I hope you guys get excited too. Yeah. And hopefully when we get all that new yarn, it'll also be on Etsy.
Yes.
We just have to...
I'm going to recruit her to help with Etsy listings.
I have done some.
I know, but I'm going to, we're going to both have to work on it to get a bunch of stuff
Well, and it'll be so much easier once we have set lines of yarn and we can just go, okay, it's this yarn again.
Yeah.
New colorway.
Yeah.
Pictures. See, I'm bad at taking pictures. She can take decent pictures.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that's
Culture
it for
consumed?
knitting stuff. Yeah,
okay.
Culture consumed.
So, if you're mean and only come for the... No, I'm kidding.
Guilt people.
I'm good at guilting people.
Thanks for joining us. If you have been here before, thanks for joining us again. If you haven't, this is pretty much the norm of a podcast for us.
Yeah. We're not... Well, no, normally we don't have huge news, but...
Yeah, but we're a little rambly and weird and...
yes, and make sex jokes. No, I'm kidding.
No, that's not really typical.
I'm joking. But yeah, and so we end our podcast with what we call Culture Consumed, which is all the stuff we've read and watched, listened to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you want to start?
Sure. This weekend, Craftsy had their annual, well, I think it's like the second time they've done it, or third time, free watch weekend. You can watch any class on their website for free. And
so you've been watching tons.
I was not working because I hurt my back, and so I watched a whole bunch of Craftsy classes. So I watched one on product photography at home, like tips on if you don't have studio equipment, here's how to do it.
That's excellent. I
watched one on pattern writing. Well, I watched part of it and then downloaded the class materials because I didn't love the style or teacher. It was fine. It was just, sometimes somebody's voice annoys you.
Yeah.
And I watched one was pattern writing, one was pattern design, and I watched one on... Lucy Neatby's double knitting class. I already have Alistair Post-Quinn's double knitting class. And I really love the information, and the speed at which he went through it was kind of perfect. But his voice is very quiet.
And you have to
I don't hear well. And So I read lips to fill in the blanks. I don't do it well, but it's enough to usually fill in the blanks. But if I'm looking down at my knitting, I'm not reading his lips. So I had a hard time with his class for that reason. So I thought I'd try the Lucy Neatby one.
Yep.
And it's actually interesting, like the very different approach to teaching it, but she talks pretty loud. So
Well, that's always good.
so it was easier. And yeah, so a whole bunch of craftsy classes. There was another one I had checked, like just did a search for like vertical stranded knitting, and so there wasn't a class on that, but there was like one chapter or one segment in another class about continental knitting. So yeah, just loads
So the
of
Crafts
classes.
Unlimited is kind of cool. So if you're not wanting to just buy the classes you want, if you want to be able to dip in and out of any of them.
Yeah. I
cool.
think especially if you don't tend to download the classes in the first place.
Yeah.
And if you watch a lot of craftsy classes, it's a good deal.
Yeah.
If you only watch occasionally or very specific things,
It might not be.
it's a little more expensive in that you're paying for the subscription to have it accessible always.
Yeah. But that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, I watched last weekend? I've lost track of time. But I watched on Netflix, there is a new version of Anne of Green Gables. It's called Anne in Canada, and apparently in the rest of the world it's called Anne with an E. Yeah. I don't know why.
She is Anne with an E.
Yes, but I don't know, like, why wouldn't they call it Anne with an E in Canada too? But anyway, and it's really good.
Probably just because in Canada, if you said there was a show called Anne,
everyone
everybody
knows.
it's Anne of Green Gables.
Yeah, because what other Anne is there?
It's not Megan Follows.
But the girl they got playing Anne is amazing. Like, they do a really good job with her. And actually, I think all the main characters are really well cast. Marilla she even kind of sounds like the Marilla from... So when she refers to Megan Follows, there was the version of Anne that was made in the
80s? 90s?
Yeah, well, the first one, early 80s. And
it's like the prototypical Anne that everybody in Canada knows.
Oh God! And if you don't know what Anne of Green Gables is,
Fabulous series.
It is the most probably well-known Canadian kids series of books ever.
Yeah, about
Possibly
a young
the most
red-headed auburn-haired girl.
Karens.
PEI.
Yeah, and it's like basically it has made PEI Prince Edward Island famous worldwide. Like thousands and thousands of Japanese tourists go to PEI every year
to see
just because of
to see
Anne of
Green Gables, which is actually like there's a little farmhouse there.
Yeah.
Where you can go see Green Gables.
But yeah, and
$20 to cross the bridge. But
really? Oh, see, I've never been there because I'm a Westerner.
I'm an Easterner.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, really, really good new thing. It was just 6. They actually made it a TV series, so it was 6 episodes, which I didn't know. And I got to the end of the last one. I'm like, okay, where's the next one? There's no more. No. But it's really interesting because they're looking at it from a much darker perspective. So it's not dark, but like they deal with the fact that she was an orphan and what happened to her before she got there and how the community reacted to having this orphan in their midst. And so it dealt with like bullying.
I was going to say, well, in the books, it's not like she was welcomed by anyone but Marilla or Matthew.
Yeah.
At least not at first.
And their Gilbert is excellent because you have to have a good Gilbert. Because, he's my first literary crush.
I actually didn't watch the show when it came out because I was so worried that I wouldn't like Marilla and Anne. Like, I was worried about Marilla, Anne, Matthew to a lesser extent, and Gilbert.
Okay, you would recognize the guy who plays Matthew. He's been in every Canadian movie or TV show ever. I'm trying to think of who he played on Road to Avonlea, and I can't think of it, but...
I never watched that one.
Oh, well.
Well, I saw 1 or 2 episodes, I think, when you were watching it.
But you would recognize him. I'm sure he's been on Murdoch and all those.
Ah, yes, I would recognize him from that.
Yeah, and they got pretty much nobodies, like people who hadn't done anything big for Anne and Gilbert and Diana, I think. Yeah, it's really, really good. So it's obviously added in some material because... they're making whole series of it, but it's material that really works. And they've made Marilla a much more rounded character. So her friendship with Rachel Lynde is excellent. I actually like Rachel Lynde in this adaptation.
I didn't dislike her, but she was definitely, like, you were supposed to think of her as kind of harsh and not...
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, and yeah. Anyway, it's really, really good.
Might have to watch it.
I really enjoyed it. Yeah. It was...
If you have Netflix, go watch Anne.
Yeah.
Or Anne with an E.
Yeah, I don't know if it's available everywhere on Netflix, but I assume so because it's an actual Netflix show.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can see lovely, lovely Canadian landscapes and...
PEI in Ontario, really.
PEI in Ontario,
only
yes.
ones.
Yes, because basically it's mainly shot in Ontario with outdoors in PEI. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. So I highly recommend.
Yay.
2 thumbs up.
I'm gonna have to watch that.
Yep.
I loved Anne growing up.
Oh, yeah. Yes, Gilbert was my first literary crush. He's fabulous.
Marilla and Matthew, like Marilla especially, but Matthew as well, were probably my favorites.
I think you'd
in
really
that show.
like this Marilla then. Yeah.
She was, I loved her. Like, to the point where I loved that actress. And when I heard she was on Murphy Brown, a show that I
Murphy
hated,
Brown?
a guest appearance.
Oh, okay.
She came on as Murphy's mother or something.
Oh, okay.
And
you watched her just for her.
I didn't even
see Road
watch
to Heavenly.
Murphy
She was
Brown.
on Road to Heavenly.
Yeah, no,
as Marilla.
Yeah, I watched that episode of a show I hated just to see her.
Oh. You hated Murphy Brown.
It was, hated is strong, but I didn't watch it.
You didn't watch it. Okay, what else have you been?
I've been, lots of podcasts, mostly, because I can watch those in bed when my back hurts. So I caught up on all my sciencey ones, like Eons and PBS Spacetime. And we've caught a glimpse of the oldest supernova ever, and it's the rarest type of supernova.
Okay.
And it's really cool, and it's like from 10.6 billion years ago.
Okay.
It's cool! And they've tested the conditions on Enceladus, which is a moon in our solar system. There's always been speculation that it might be able to support life because there's an underground ocean.
Okay.
But now they took 3 kind of extremophile bacterias here on Earth, grown in a lab in conditions similar to what Enceladus would be, like based on when was it Cassini that was going around Saturn? And anyway, Cassini. When it was decommissioned, it went through the rings.
Oh, okay.
And did a bunch of dives through the rings, and then went through the jets of water that spray out from the South Pole of Enceladus, and sampled the water to see, like, chemically what compounds are in it and stuff like that. So then they recreated those conditions and stuff on Earth in a lab, and kind of checked, okay, out of these 3 bacteria that we think might be able to live there, these could.
That's really cool.
So now, like, not to say that there is life on Enceladus.
No, but there could be.
But that life that we know here could survive that environment.
So, can humans move there?
I don't think so. No. But anyway, it was
We're
really
our
cool.
planet. We've got to move somewhere else and ruin it too.
And then, so that was
cool.
like all my sciencey ones, and I geeked out a little bit. And then I caught up on all my knitting podcasts, and so I added one more of my, I've watched a couple of episodes, and now I'm going to catch up. So I added Codependent Knitters and started watching theirs all the way through, because I had seen a couple already. So that was very fun. So this morning I started watching the newest one.
I'm so far behind on my podcasts.
It's pretty cool. It's kind of fun watching Canadian ones too, because they mention like places like they're in Sarnia in Ontario.
Okay.
So they're closer to my home than
that's where Liz is.
Yes.
Our friend Liz.
And we should tell Liz about Remembrance's Pottery, which is apparently in Sarnia, and she's the one that does all those beautiful knitting pottery mugs with like the spots.
Okay.
So Liz,
we have a friend.
If you're watching this,
other Liz, not the Liz that we know watches this. Other Liz
from Calgary who moved to Sarnia. You should go check out Remembrance's Pottery.
I don't think she watches it, but we should tell her. Yeah. That is very cool.
Yeah.
I kind of geeked out over Sciencey too.
Oh.
But in a very different way. I was actually listening to an audiobook called The Ghost Map, which was about the cholera epidemic in London in 1853-54. and about Dr. Jon Snow coming up with figuring out
That's the
how
first cholera vaccine, or figuring out how it spread?
How it spreads.
Okay.
Because at that point,
Like, I know that name.
I am so glad I live now. Because, you know, medicine then was kind of scary.
Yeah.
And they thought basically if things smelt bad, then disease would naturally follow. Miasma. Yeah. Anyway, it was really interesting. Though listening to all the like talk about cholera made me like, I'm just so glad I'm sick, but I don't have cholera. It's great. But yeah, that was really interesting. And then I read in the last like 10 days, I've been reading romance novels.
She found a new author.
I did. So Courtney Milan. I used to read a lot of historical romance. I usually hide the cover because actually this one's not that bad. It's just a corset. But I used to read a lot of historical romances, and I just kind of gave up because I got sick of how all the men in them are like these alpha males. And I'm like, some people like that. Meh, not for me. But someone I trust recommended Courtney Milan to me. And in the last 10 days, I have read 8 of her novels and 4 novellas. So she's good. She actually now has a series that's set contemporary as well, and I've read the first one of that, and that was really good. I haven't read this one yet. I just grabbed it from the shelf here so that I could take it home with me. But yeah,
A little hooked.
they're just really good. They're, I don't know, they're just normal-ish people rather. I mean, they're still, you know, dukes and viscounts and, you know, governesses, but
Why is the S silent?
in Viscount?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's French.
I know. It's not silent in French. It's Viscount.
Viscount. Oh. Not a clue. Well, okay, how is Marquis? Or Marquez? Or Marquise? Okay, Marquis. Okay.
But at the end of a word, S is always silent.
Yeah, I know. I was just gonna ask how it was pronounced in French. But anyway, because English is strange.
English is strange, and English people are too.
Yeah. But yeah, they're I'm really enjoying them. My favorite series was The Brothers Sinister. It's the longest of her series. It's got like, I think 4 novels and 2 or 3 novellas. And it's kind of interesting because it's set in the 1860s, so Victorian. Except that she's kind of changed the history of science. So like in it, it's actually one of the characters in the book that discovers, Mendel wrote a paper on how traits are inherited in pea plants or whatever it is that he did.
He was an avid gardener and became a
scientist. Okay, so basically in that, it wasn't him, it was one of the characters in the books, and anyway. And so that changed things, and some other things changed. So, I mean, not huge things, it's just like...
But like who and how it affected things.
Yeah, and how it affected science going on from that, and a couple of them deal with like women's suffrage, which is just, they're really good books. And the men in them are, you know, humans, and they have their own problems, and it's not just, you know, oh, woe is me, I can't marry someone who, I don't know, doesn't have a dowry or whatever.
Yeah. Speaking of humans, I've been reading
T.J. Animal.
Yeah. Oh, what's the full name? The Less Than Epic Adventures of T.J. Animal by E.K. Weaver.
I really enjoyed it. I talked about it.
Yeah. I'm about 3/4 of the way through.
It's taking you this long?
Well, I put it aside. I just wasn't reading. Because when I'd go to bed, I'd listen to podcasts or I'd
It took me one
games.
night to read it. It's a graphic novel.
Well, I read like 20 minutes and got 1/4 of the way through.
Yeah.
And then read like an hour and got the rest. Yeah. So another session and I'll have it done. But it's fun. It's the only one I've actually read. Like I've done lots of... I've been reading Stitch dictionaries and I've had a couple of ideas for designs.
Yes,
so I've been spending a lot of...
Me too.
I spend a lot of time researching things, even when I just want to knit someone else's pattern. So trying to write my own is very slow.
Whereas I was like, ooh, I'm going to try this cable. Yeah. But yeah, I'm just so proud that I got a whole bunch of reading done this week. Yeah. Because I have my 100 books in the year challenge.
You were behind.
I was only one book behind.
Oh, I thought
but
you were
I am
3 or 4
now
behind.
I am now like 9 or 10 books ahead. Yeah, I'm at 27 or 28 books read this year, and it's only the beginning of March, so I am good.
You're doing okay.
Yeah, I love reading, and I just don't normally read that much
I'm just gonna squeeze some yarn.
because I'm too busy knitting. I do have to find another audiobook.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think I'm gonna subscribe to Audible again.
well, if you want, you can. You know my the audiobooks I have. If you want to listen to.
Yeah,
like
and
Terry
I've got a
Pratchett
few that I had like years ago.
Yeah.
But-
Well, and all the Varkosigans.
And How to Train Your Dragon with David
Yeah.
Tennant.
I have been in the mood for. Oopsie, I just screwed that up. Because I was talking.
Knitting and talking. That's why you should just squeeze yarn on the podcast.
I've found that
This one's coming home with me, by the way. I'm not squeezing
Yeah.
your yarn.
nonfiction audiobooks have really been where I want to be. I finished The Evolution of God, which was fascinating.
That's the Chris Hitchens?
No. I wasn't going to talk about it, so I didn't write it down.
But you said the name.
Anyway, Evolution of God. It was really interesting. It's kind of about the history of religion, which I find interesting, even though I'm not religious. And yeah, and then the ghost map one, and yeah. So now maybe, I don't know what I'll listen to next. I gotta find something.
I've been kind
If you have suggestions,
Yeah.
I love suggestions. I read a lot of history. Some memoirs, not a whole lot. Most of the oh God, I have a terrible life memoirs is not my.
I was actually thinking, we just got in Never Get Your Dog Stuffed by Ellen Alda, which I've listened to as an audiobook once, but I was thinking I might take it home and read it.
Yeah.
Because it was such a good,
It is.
like, it was a good read.
Yeah.
He's a good writer.
Yeah. I think that's everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I always do these cheesy grins.
I don't know what to say, it's the end. You'll be happy to know that Tink was excited about our news.
Yes.
He didn't come. He was so shocked he just couldn't even get out of bed. He was just like,
Tink is our mascot sloth, if you're wondering.
oh, yes. We introduced him last week, so if
Yeah,
you haven't
last
been here,
podcast.
yeah. And this is going to be home with me today.
It's going to be home with you, huh?
It's going to be home with me today. And I think, I had an idea for a hat pattern with a different colorway, but then I decided I really like this and I kind of want to just knit something for me, not a shop sample.
Yeah.
So
Do.
it might be something else, a different pattern. It's so,
have so much knitting
lovely.
to do.
I love the Chinook base.
Yes. Chinook by Fleece Artist is a fabulous, fabulous base. Yeah. I have a skein at home too that I want to knit really bad. And it would be good for a shop sample. So maybe I will. Well, now we're just babbling.
Yeah,
so we can let you go and we can talk to each other.
Some more.
No, we can't. I'm house sitting at my mom's, and so we've not been sharing an apartment.
Yeah. Every year we get this 1 month break where we each have our own apartment because she house sits for her mom.
My mom goes down to Florida for Blue Jays spring training, so I get to house it. It's lovely.
We spend a lot of time together through the year, so it's nice to have a little bit of a break. We get along great, but
yeah, and I sit in my mom's front living room, and
it's
the sun.
only room that has light.
Yeah, the sun shines in on me, and I sit there and I knit.
you bask in the
I
sun.
do. It's fabulous. And then I go into the TV room where all the curtains are all drawn because that's how I like to watch TV. Yeah, and then I knit and watch TV. But yeah, so it's very nice. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I think with that, I'm going to go home and fondle some yarn. Have a great day.
Kinky.